There's something about air travel that brings out all the extremes in human behavior. A delayed flight, a belligerent passenger, a subpar hotel stay, or any number of combination of events can trigger rare and unusual reactions, not just from passengers, but from the airline staff as well. From a couple of strangers forced to share a hotel room with one bed after missing a flight, to a woman who woke up on a cold and dark airplane all alone, to a hip-hop star who will not share his overhead compartment, here are 7 of the weirdest things to happen on airplanes so far this year. Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. Today we'll be looking at what passenger captures that no one was supposed to see. Yeah, you heard it right. Woman wakes up locked inside a plane in Toronto. Have you ever fallen asleep on a train or bus only to wake up dazed and confused way past your intended stop? If you have, you might be able to commiserate a woman who went lights out on an Air Canada flight from Quebec to Montreal and woke up alone in the dark and locked on a powerless plane parked on the tarmac. The woman told a story including her rather daring escape on a friend's Facebook page, where it had since been shared hundreds of times. It's one thing for the plane staff to miss out a bit of garbage under a seat, or maybe a passenger's cell phone in the front pouch, but an actual human passenger? Honestly, sometimes it feels like Air Canada is doing this stuff on purpose. Seat stealer cuffed a wheelchair and rolled off the plane after refusing to move. The stress that comes with air travel simply proves too great for some people. Take this American Airlines passenger, for example. He wasn't happy with the seat he'd been assigned, so he took it upon himself to claim a window seat. But when the person who'd actually booked the seat showed up, the man refused to move and started flipping out. After things got heated, the man was forcibly removed from the plane. The video footage above shows the disgruntled passenger struggling with police as he enters the airport. Busta Rhymes throws fit over a bag in the space above his seat, gets escorted off flight. American musician and actor Busta Rhymes made headlines earlier this year after he was escorted from a first-class flight in London following a tiff with a woman. The issue? She'd put her carry-on luggage in the space above Busta's seat, and Busta, well, he wasn't having any of it. Nobody puts their stuff in Busta's overhead storage bin. Air Canada tried to get 2 strangers to share a hotel after a misconnection flight. When a 71-year-old woman and a 35-year-old man missed their Air Canada flight in July, they were told by the airline that they'd be put up in a hotel nearby. Only, there was a catch. They, 2 perfect strangers, had to share a room. And what's more, there was just one bed. After a lot of fuss from the senior citizen's daughter, who called Air Canada and the hotel to try to get the mix-up sorted, the man was moved to another hotel. Air Canada responded to the incident, saying it's not our policy to have passengers who are not traveling together sharing a room. In this case, an error was initially made allocating rooms. You think? Toronto-bound flight passengers were locked in a hot plane on the tarmac for 6 hours. It was a nightmare flight for a group of travelers trying to get from Italy back to Canada. The air transit flight was delayed for 6 hours on the tarmac, leaving passengers on board, including 40 students on a school trip with no air conditioning and just 2 cups of water each. Passengers claimed the temperature was up to 40 degrees in the cabin. Twitter footage of the event, posted by one unlucky soul on board, looks rough indeed, with people using the laminated safety instructions and in-flight magazines as makeshift fans. For their sweat, Air Transit gave each passenger 600 euros. Woman in romper forced to cover up with a blanket while boarding. A family doctor traveling with her 8-year-old son was made to cover up with a blanket before being allowed to board an American Airlines flight. The Houston mother would go on to tweet about the experience, attaching photos of the romper that at least one American Airlines employee deemed too risque for air travel. American Airlines has refunded the women's flight. Man jokes about vodka, gets kicked off plane. A man who quipped to a flight attendant about how they should be getting vodka instead of water after waiting for 2 hours on a stationary plane has learned firsthand that Southwest Airlines can't take a joke apparently. The young attendant took issue with the harmless verbal jest and made the call to have the man removed by authorities, despite the objections of several other passengers who came to his defense saying that all he did was make a little joke. The man was not charged, and Southwest hasn't apologized for the event but has brought the issue to the attention of its customer relations team. And that's all for today's video. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section down below. I hope that you found this video interesting, and if you want to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing to my channel. See you in the following video with some more of the latest updates, and until then, stay tuned!